In today's video, I'm going to show you how to organize information in Airtable. And by the end of this guide, you'll have a fully structured system that turns messy data into a clean, relational database. Airtable is essentially a hybrid between a spreadsheet and a database. And learning how to organize it properly is what separates a chaotic list from a powerful project management or inventory tool. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. First, you need to sign in to Airtable. Open up Airtable in your browser or launch the desktop app and log into your account. Once you're in, take a moment to look at your workspace sidebar on the left. You should see your existing workspaces, which are essentially folders for grouping bases together. Navigate to the workspace where you want to build your new organized system. If you don't have a dedicated workspace for this project yet, you can create one by clicking the plus icon next to Workspaces and giving it a name like Client Management or Content Hub. This step is crucial because it keeps your work logically separated from any other bases you might have, so you're not hunting for information later. Now, before you start clicking buttons, you need to identify your main categories. Stop and think about what information you actually want to manage. Are you tracking clients, projects, tasks, inventory, or content ideas? Let's say you're a freelancer managing clients and their projects. Your main categories would likely be clients, projects, and tasks. Don't try to cram everything into one big list. The whole point of Airtable is that you can break your data into logical groups. A common pitfall here is to throw everything into a single table because it feels simpler, but that actually creates more noise. You want to think in terms of nouns. These are the major entities in your workflow. Write them down so you have a clear map before you start building. With your categories in mind, it's time to create a new base. Click the Create a Base button, which is usually a big green or blue button near the top of your workspace. You'll be given a few options, and you want to choose Start from Scratch rather than using a template. Templates are great for some things, but since you're learning how to organize your own way, a blank canvas gives you full control. Once you click that, a new empty base opens up. Immediately give it a descriptive name. Instead of leaving it as Untitled Base, change it to something like Client Project Tracker or Inventory Master. This name is how you'll identify this base later in your workspace sidebar, and it also helps if you share the base with a team member. They'll know exactly what it is at a glance. Now you're going to create separate tables for each of your main categories. By default, your new base has one table already created, probably called Table 1. Click that table name and rename it to match your first category. If you're managing clients, rename it to Clients. Then look for the plus icon next to the tab at the bottom of the screen. That's how you add a new table. Click it and create projects. Do the same for tasks. Each table is essentially its own spreadsheet within the same file, but they can talk to each other. This is where Airtable's power really starts to shine. Having separate tables keeps your data clean. You don't want client contact details mixed in with your daily task checklist. You want them logically separated but connected. With your tables created, it's time to rename your fields. Airtable gives you generic columns like Name, Notes, and Attachments. That won't cut it for a well-organized system. Click on the field header, which is the top cell of a column, and rename it to something meaningful. For your clients table, you might want fields like client name, company, email, and phone. For your projects table, think about fields like project name, client, due date, and owner. For tasks, you'll want task name, status, priority, and assigned to. The key here is to be specific and consistent. If you name one field due date and another deadline, you'll confuse yourself later. Pick a naming convention and stick with it across all your tables. This makes filtering and searching infinitely easier. Now, for each of those fields, you need to select the appropriate field type. Click on the field header again, and you'll see a drop-down menu with a long list of types. This is where a lot of beginners get tripped up because they leave everything as single-line text. But Airtable has specialized types that make your data smarter. For a due date, you should select the Date field type. This gives you a calendar picker and allows you to sort by date. For a checkbox, like a completed field, choose the checkbox type. For a status that has only a few options, like Not Started, In Progress, and Complete, you want Single Select. That creates a clean drop-down menu. For a priority score or account, use the Number field. Choosing the right field type is like choosing the right tool for a job. It enforces consistency in how data is entered and makes your base more reliable. Speaking of consistency, you should now add consistent categories for your drop-down fields. In your Tasks table, click on the field header for your status field. Since you chose Single Select, you'll see an option to Customize Field Type. Click that, and you'll get a list where you can add your options. Type in Not Started, In Progress, and Complete. Make sure you spell them the same way every time, because Airtable treats not started and not started as two different options. You can also assign colors to each option. I recommend using red for not started, yellow for in progress, and green for complete. This gives you a visual cue at a glance. Do this for any field that has a finite set of values, like priority with low, medium, and high, or category with design, development, and marketing. This step prevents chaos later, when you have 20 different versions of in progress. With your structure in place, you can finally enter your data. Click into the first row of your client's table and start adding records row by row. This is where you populate your system with real information. Enter a client name, their email, their company, and so on. Move row by row, field by field. The critical thing here is consistency. If you start entering Jane Doe in one row and Doe Jane in another, sorting and linking will become a nightmare. Decide on a format and use it for every record. If you're importing data from a spreadsheet, you can paste it in, but make sure the column headers match. This manual entry or careful import is the foundation of your organized system. It might feel tedious, but a clean foundation saves hours of cleanup later. Now for the magic. Creating linked relationships. Go back to your projects table. You have a field for client here, but instead of just typing the client's name as text, you want to link it to the actual record in your client's table. Click the plus icon to add a new field, and choose Linked Record. A dialog box will appear asking which table you want to link to. Select your client's table. Once you do that, that field becomes a live link. When you click into a cell, it will show you a drop-down of all your clients. Select the relevant client for each project. This creates a two-way relationship. Now, if you go back to your client's table, each client record will show a new field that lists all the projects linked to them. This is the core power of Airtable. You can link tasks to projects and projects to clients, building a web of connected information that lets you see the whole picture without duplicating data. Finally, let's organize that data visually by grouping similar records. In your tasks table or projects table, look at the toolbar above your grid. You'll see a button that says Group. Click it, and a panel opens where you choose a field to group by. Try grouping your tasks by status. Instantly, your records rearrange themselves into collapsible sections. One for not started, one for in progress, and one for complete. You can collapse sections you don't need to see and focus on what's urgent. This is a fantastic way to bring order to a growing dataset. You can also group by owner to see who is responsible for what, or by category to see your workload by project type. The grouping feature doesn't change your underlying data, it just changes the view. You can create multiple saved views like a My Tasks view grouped by status and filtered to only show tasks assigned to you. You've now built a fully organized Airtable base with clear categories, properly typed fields, consistent drop-down options, and relational links between your tables. This structure will save you hours of manual sorting and searching, and it scales beautifully as you add more clients, projects, and tasks. A great next step is to explore creating different views like calendar or gallery to visualize your data in new ways. You might also want to look into automations to send notifications when a task moves to complete. For now, save this video to your favorites so you can come back to these steps whenever you set up a new base. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.